You might think you're in charge of your cat. You buy the food, schedule the vet visits, clean the litter box, and pay the bills, right? But here's the truth most cat owners quietly suspect. Cats don't care about who owns what. They care about routine, comfort, and control. And if you look closely, you'll see the signs. Little daily moments where your cat isn't just coexisting, they're leading. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 clear signs that your cat doesn't see you as the owner, but as their full-time live-in servant. These behaviors aren't just cute or quirky, they're silent reminders that the power in your house might not be in your hands. And sign number 5, it's so subtle and psychologically clever, it may completely change the way you look at your feline friend. Let's get into it. Cats aren't wired to obey like dogs. They're independent, strategic, and deeply aware of their surroundings. In the wild, cats hunt alone, defend their space, and don't wait for instructions. They make decisions based on comfort and instinct. That mindset doesn't disappear when they move into your home, it just adapts. So when a cat ignores your voice but responds instantly to the sound of a can being opened, that's not them being selective. That's them prioritizing. They don't follow rules, they test boundaries, they don't seek approval, they expect service. And now, it's time to see if your cat has quietly promoted you to the role of butler without your knowledge. The first sign that your cat sees you as a servant is when they ignore you completely until they need something. You can call them, pet them, even try to start a playful interaction, and they might not move a muscle. But the second they hear the treat bag or the sound of their food being prepared, they appear out of nowhere, acting suddenly affectionate and alert. This is not about emotional connection, it's about utility. They're not choosing to ignore you because they're moody, they're simply not interested unless there's a direct benefit. You become relevant the moment you serve a purpose, usually food. That's not companionship, that's a power move. And when this pattern repeats daily, it's a clear sign you're not the one in charge. You're the resource. Even more telling is how selective they are. A guest might get attention, a new toy might be interesting, but your consistent presence becomes background noise until you become useful. That shift in energy from total indifference to sudden enthusiasm is their way of managing you. They set the rules of interaction, and you follow them. The second sign that your cat sees you as their full-time staff is when they wake you up, on their schedule, not yours. Cats are creatures of habit, and once they decide it's breakfast time, there's no waiting politely. Whether it's 5 a.m. or 4:30 on a weekend, they'll paw at your face, meow insistently, or even knock things off your nightstand just to get you moving. And when you do get up to feed them, even reluctantly, they've won. That's not just a morning routine, it's a form of behavioral control. They're not being cute, they're conditioning you. Over time, they learn exactly what it takes to get you out of bed, and once they know it works, they'll use it whenever they want. If your sleep depends on their hunger, you're not the boss, you're the breakfast crew. The real power here lies in consistency. They repeat the behavior until your brain links early mornings with feline demands, and the more consistent you are in responding, the stronger their grip becomes. You stop setting the alarm and instead wait for the paw. That's not partnership. That's a hierarchy, and you're second in line. The third sign that your cat considers you their servant is when they use you as a door butler. This happens when your cat constantly demands to enter or exit rooms, waits for you to open a door, only to stand there and stare. Or worse, change their mind. It's not uncommon for them to want in, then out, then in again, within minutes. This behavior isn't about indecision, it's about control. You're not opening the door because it's necessary. You're doing it because they expect it. And every time you comply, you reinforce the idea that their whims come first. You become their personal doorman, on call 24/7. If you find yourself hopping up from the couch repeatedly to cater to their doorway demands, it's a clear sign who's giving the orders in your home, and it's not you. There's also a deeper message here. They want access on their terms. It's not enough that the door is open. It has to be opened for them. That symbolic gesture reinforces their status. Even if they don't walk through, they've reminded you of your role to serve. This isn't confusion, it's authority being exercised. The fourth sign that your cat sees you as secondary in the house is when they choose where you sit. And where you don't, if you regularly find your cat occupying your favorite chair, your side of the bed, or the exact spot where you were about to sit, and you simply adjust or choose another place, that's a clear sign of territory control. They didn't ask, they just claimed it. And your response, moving to accommodate them, sends a strong signal. Their comfort matters more than yours. Even when you try to reclaim your spot, they might resist or give you that cold stare that makes you hesitate. Over time, you stop questioning it. You let them stay, and you adjust. That's not sharing space, that's surrendering it. And it means your role in the house is more assistant than alpha. What's more, these spots aren't chosen at random. Cats pick places of warmth, security, and strategic positioning. When they take over your favorite seat, they're not just getting comfortable, they're replacing your presence with theirs. And when you allow it without resistance, you reinforce the idea that their decisions outweigh yours, even in your own space. The fifth and most subtle sign that your cat sees you as their servant is when they make you feel grateful just for being close to them. After a full day of doing their own thing, sleeping, grooming, ignoring your presence, they suddenly decide to sit next to you or curl up on your lap at night. And in that moment, you feel honored, as if you've been chosen. This isn't random affection, it's strategic reinforcement. By withholding attention and giving it only occasionally, your cat increases its value and your emotional response. You stay still, you feel fulfilled, and you start building your routine around not disturbing them. That's not just bonding, that's psychological dominance. When the presence of your own pet feels like a rare reward, it's because they've trained you to believe it is. That's the final proof. You're not in control. You're on duty. Even more powerful is the emotional impact. You go from feeling ignored to feeling validated, and that contrast makes the moment feel sacred. It's the perfect manipulation. Create distance, then reward loyalty. It's subtle, quiet, and incredibly effective. And most of us fall for it gladly, convinced it's love, when in reality, it's expert-level influence. So, how many of these signs did your cat show? 1 or 2, or all 5 with absolute confidence? If you're watching this with your cat nearby, take a moment and think, who's really in charge here? Are you living in their world, or are they adapting to yours? Based on everything we just covered, the answer's probably clear. But before you go, there's one more moment in your daily routine that says a lot about your cat's mindset. It's not during feeding time, or playtime, or even bedtime. It's when you're changing clothes. You know that silent stare they give you? It's not just curiosity, it's something much deeper, and maybe even a little judgmental. Click the video on the screen to find out what your cat is really thinking when that moment happens. Trust me, you'll want to know. I'll see you there.